angle discussion. I'm going to talk about Ubisoft's press conference. They were up next after EA. If it was between Bethesda and Ubisoft right now, that would be a really hard choice for me to choose who won E3. Because Ubisoft came out swinging. First of all, I love Aisha Tyler. I love the fact that she's a real host for the show. She's a very, very genuine person. So, I love Aisha Tyler hosting. It starts off with Aisha Tyler, and then she brings out the creators of South Park and says, South Park the Fractured Butthole, and they showed the CGI trailer. So, South Park is getting another game. Now, I loved Stick of Truth. So, this announcement was out of nowhere. It was out of left field. Especially since Trey Parker said he was not going to make another game. And all of a sudden, boom, South Park, the Fractured Butthole. Wow, that's all I have to say about that. Wow. Then they talked about a new IP. This was another big highlight to the show. Momentum's just going. The roof blew off the place. They showed For Honor. Now, Jason Vandenberg made a very convincing pitch. Now, this guy might be my favorite developer now. The way he presented the game was amazing. He made me want to play it without seeing any gameplay or anything. Just the way he pitched it. That's a professional, people. That's a guy who knows how to pitch something. That's a guy who knows how to make you excited and hyped for something. So anyway, he pitches this game, and then he shows the multiplayer demonstration on the console. This game looks phenomenal. This is a new IP, came out of nowhere also, so you've got two games right out the gate that came out of nowhere. One new IP and new South Park game. Then they talked about the crew, then they showed the crew, the Wild Run expansion pack, E3, they showed the announcement trailer for that, the CGI trailer for that. Killed the momentum a little bit, and then they showed Trials Fusion, which was really funny, so it didn't really kill the momentum, but it was like, okay, can we get back to the real announcements now? And that was the Awesome Level Max expansion pack CGI trailer. And then they moved on to the Division. They brought out Ryan Bernard, and then he introduced the gameplay of the Dark Zone, made a great pitch. The gameplay looks fantastic, and he said this game will launch on all platforms March 8th, 2016. Even the Division has an announced date, a set announced date. Mirror's Edge, set announced date. The Division, set announced date. Then they talked about another new IP, and actually it's not really a new IP. I think this is an old PC game, from what I remember. I remember the name. The name sounds familiar to me. It might not be, but I think I've played a game like it somewhere before. Anno 2205. Then they did the worst possible thing you could possibly do. They were talking about Just Dance, talking about how successful it's become. They said you'll be able to use your iPhone as a camera for Just Dance, so you don't need to buy the camera for any of the consoles, which is fantastic. Then they brought out Jason Derulo, I believe his name is, for a mini concert for everybody that had nothing to do with the game except for the fact that his song was in the game. This frustrated me a little bit. I was like, okay, but they did announce that the game will be coming out on all platforms in October. So they announced that, so they brought it back up, and they announced a Just Dance streaming service. Boom. The more streaming services we get, the more people are going to try to get us to subscribe to these stupid features that should already be available to us. But anyway, besides that, they still had an announced date. It was kind of like, eh. After that, they showed Rainbow Six Siege. So they took it down a bit. It was a low point of the show, but then they brought it right back up with Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Siege, they showed the CGI story trailer. Angela Bassett is playing Six. She is a fantastic actress. Great actress. I know she's gonna do Six justice. Terrell Hunt is back. They showed Siege gameplay of Terrell Hunt. They showed more gameplay that we hadn't seen before. Then they talked about Trackmania, and they did the gameplay announcement trailer. Then they showed more gameplay. A total of 200 tracks, and then they have a random track generator that generates tracks for you for more fun. And it also has multiplayer, which they didn't show, but that's okay. Keep something in the wings, but that was awesome. It looked awesome. It looked fun. Then they went straight from that to Assassin's Creed Syndicate. So they show Assassin's Creed Syndicate, showed CGI slash gameplay, but I think it was more of a CGI trailer. Don't expect the game to look like that. But it looked okay. It takes place in London in the 1800s during the Industrial Age. I'm kind of tired of Europe. Europe, but you know what? It is what it is. It's Assassin's Creed. I know I'm gonna get it anyway. You see how they kept the momentum going? Yeah, they had some low points of the show, but they kept you on this high. They kept you on this hype train. And then they finished it off with Ghost Recon Wildlands. And this was a mixed gameplay slash storyline reveal trailer. I'd say it's more CGI trailer. I expect it to look like that because you did see gameplay within the trailer, but a lot of that is going to be out of the game when it actually releases, but they did show gameplay within the trailer. So I thought overall, Ubisoft came out swinging. This is going to be my second A score for press conferences. Ubisoft gets the second A because of how much they showed. They showed new games. They announced release dates. They showed gameplay of a lot of different games. They announced games we weren't even expecting. This is how you do a conference. This is how you do a conference. And it sucks because I do believe a lot of wind was taken out of Bethesda's conference because of the leak of Dishonored 2. Everyone knew that was coming before E3. So between Ubisoft and Bethesda, it's going to be hard to pick a winner. At this point. At this point, you have Bethesda, Ubisoft, EA, Microsoft coming in the rear. Not because I have anything against Microsoft, they just did not show much gameplay. They showed gameplay of Halo, sure. They showed gameplay of certain games, but they didn't show hardly any gameplay. They didn't have hardly any announce dates. They didn't have any of that. Ubisoft definitely gets an A. This was a fantastic conference, just like last year. I thought Ubisoft won last year. I'm still up in the air about whether it be Bethesda or Ubisoft. It's going to be interesting to see what PlayStation comes out with, and you still got Square Enix, which has a lot to show. So you still have some great companies that are going to come out swinging, hopefully. This has been Zero. Keep gaming, gamers, and I will see all of you guys and gals next time.